It's Luke and Naomi.
All right, welcome into Luke and Naomi On-Air featuring Naomi's Under a Rock reviews. I'm Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn.
Hi.
Hi. We've got a great review of Enemy of the State coming up in just a little bit, which is, it's one of those things like, you haven't seen Enemy of the State? Yeah, exactly. That's why we kind of, do the show this way.
This is why we do this.
This is exactly why we do this. So Enemy of the State, great Will Smith movie, some Gene Hackman in there. You got a great John Voight performance. And
you got Jack Black in there.
All of
and Seth Green. Like, what the heck?
All of the kids and stuff of Hollywood were in that movie. There's like a bajillion of them. And we'll get to the list in just a little bit when we get into the review. Again, I've seen a lot of movies. Naomi hasn't, hence the Under a Rock part of the review thing. So if you've seen Enemy of the State, relive your first watch through Naomi's eyes. If you've never seen it either, should you watch it?
I'll let you know.
We will absolutely let you know. Spoiler alert for every episode of Luke and Naomi's Under a Rock reviews, because they're old if you don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of on you at that point.
That's right.
Just like it's been on me this entire time,
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't know what happened in Sixth Sense, that's kind of my own fault.
But you've probably had these movies described to you, at some point, which is how we ended up on Enemy of the State, too, because Naomi was like, what is that about? And I sort of gave her a rundown. So that's what we're doing here. Those movies, if you've never seen it, somebody's probably told you most of it.
Yeah, the storyline.
And all of that. So that's what we're doing here. Naomi's checking it out for the first time. If you were with us last episode, we were talking about the Jeff K 10K.
10K. Yes.
So our friend Jeff K is a craft beer aficionado, and one of the biggest ones we ever know is I'm staring at the sticker picture right now if you're watching on YouTube. But he's on the Untapped app, which is a craft beer social media app, basically, which helps you track all the beers you've drank and all the ones you want to drink, and
you can rate them and all of that, and you can toast other people's check-ins. It's nice.
It's
fun.
very cool. It's got toasts instead of likes,
yeah,
which is a lot of fun. So Jeff has been using Untapped for quite a long time. He takes it very seriously, which is just he gets into
his hobby.
It's his hobby.
Yeah.
He gets into his ratings. It's awesome. He loves friending other people on there and checking out their check-ins and all of that stuff. But he got to 10,000 the other day, so we had a big celebration as he did it.
Yes, we got to be there as he checked in his 10,000th beer, which was really exciting. It was a lot of
awesome.
fun. We made a whole event. I don't want to say we. It wasn't like me and Luke making an event out of this.
No, we just captured it.
Yeah, and we got to be a part of it and celebrate with him and everything like that. It was a lot of fun.
That's right. Shout out to our friends at Fermental. You know them from our Sips and Snacks videos and things like that. We know about Fermental because of Jeff K.
That's right.
So
it's all tied together.
It's all tied together. One big happy craft beer loving family over there.
Right.
So they set up this really cool thing. They made stickers and some T-shirts and just had a full-on day. They made an event on the Untapped app, which
That's
is
right. You could
really
check
cool.
into the event.
Yeah.
So we all had fun doing that.
That's a lot of fun too. So you'll be able to see a little bit of Jeff K's check-in itself with his explanation.
That's right.
Coming up very soon. We got a video coming, hopefully by the end of the week. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's the challenge to Luke and Naomi's production team, which is
us.
Just us. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So that should be coming up real soon. Don't forget, we've got, speaking coming up real soon, which is way sooner than I'm ready for, the Not So Polar Plunge coming up New Year's Day.
Yeah, we're into November here, okay? December, January. You can't even count January because it happens on the 1st.
It's less than 2 months.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
It's hard to think about because it's chilly right now, and thinking about jumping into cold water when it's chilly, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't right now.
We just got our first chilly days in Wilmington for,
It's terrible.
for the fall. It's absolutely, Naomi's just already withdrawn into herself. You can hear it in her
I'm
voice
angry.
over there.
I
That's right.
just want to be on the couch,
So
What's the point?
We are thinking about the Not So Polar Plunge, which is coming up New Year's Day again at Fort Fisher Beach is where we're going to be doing that. That's where we go every year. Join us if you are in the area.
Yep, we're asking you to join us if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, jump into a body of water near you, even a bathtub, and live stream the event. We're gonna have some fun with this.
That's
all while raising money for a fantastic cause. the Caribbean Surf Connection, which you can get more information on that on our Facebook page. There's plenty of stories about it. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll see them all. And also our website, lukeandnaomi.com.
That's right. So that is awesome that we've got those guys to help raise some money for this year as we jump into the ocean.
And freeze.
And freeze on New Year's Day. And don't forget, if we hit our goal, I'm going back in.
That's right.
And a couple extra dollars after that, Naomi is too.
So we can stop at like 5:05, 5:10. Then Luke has to go back in, and I get to stay nice and warm and dry.
I'm going to wait like a full hour to see if we get to that 50. Then we go in together. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. If you are new to the show, before we get to our Under a Rock review, we like to do a little bit of our old morning show. And part of that includes your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Some random facts for episode 122. And here we go. Did you know Grok is the name of the AI chatbot on Twitter? I'm not calling it X. I'm not. And it was first used in the 1961 novel Stranger in a Strange Land. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
My dad loves that book. It's about a human born and raised on Mars as he experiences Earth for the first time.
Interesting.
It is. It is a... I don't believe I've ever actually read it. I think I have my dad's copy, which is funny. But Grok is one of the Martian words the main character uses, and it means understand empathetically. I'm just going with that. Empathetically.
It makes sense to me.
Am I saying that? I don't even know. I'm having an absolute stroke over here. So there you go. Did you know...
Your face is getting a little droopy, too.
That's not nice. Moving right along. Did you know reading silently to yourself is a relatively new development in human history?
That's interesting. I wonder why.
People have been writing and reading, of course, for 5,000 years or more. But it's only been socially acceptable to read alone and not out loud to a group for the past 300 to 400 years.
Okay.
Which is, apparently we got to get people to realize that it's not socially acceptable to be having speakerphone conversations, right? I feel like that goes along the same lines.
I feel like it does, but I feel like that is something that's never going to happen. It's just the way society is now.
Absolutely. All right, you ready for me to try to pronounce a French word?
Yes, this should be good.
Did you know Crayola is a mix of two French words, cray, which means chalk, and here we go, oléigenou, which means oily. So oily chalk. Crayola.
Okay.
There you go. And did you know silly string was originally created in the 70s when a chemist was trying to invent an instant spray-on cast?
Interesting. Okay.
Love silly string. That was like
It's
my
been a
favorite
while.
thing as a kid. I loved silly string. And finally, did you know the budget for Dazed and Confused, which is an upcoming movie, it's on our list, was $6.9 million. And about a sixth of that had to go towards getting the rights to all the 70s songs used in the movie.
I believe that. Yep.
Yeah, so if you didn't know about Dazed and Confused, there's a lot of 70s songs.
Well,
You heard things?
I've heard things.
Somebody tried explaining the whole premise of the movie to you at one point, right?
Yeah, multiple times.
That's right. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Oh, by the way, that was your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Random facts for episode 122. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction highlights over the weekend. I caught like the tail end of it. Literally caught Cyndi Lauper, and then that was it.
Yeah.
They wrapped it up. I'm like, oh, there's probably a ton more. Nope, they wrapped it right up after that. But some good highlights. I don't know if you've seen any video from this.
No, I didn't. I also caught just a little piece of the Cyndi Lauper.
That's right.
I was taking a nap. I woke up and
in and
saw
out of the couch
that.
nap.
Yeah.
So do you know who all got in this year, by the way? I don't know.
I don't.
So I remember hearing the White Stripes got in, but that's really cool. So Bad Company, the White Stripes, Outkast, Cyndi Lauper, and Soundgarden. A couple of more too. Cyndi Lauper, of course, did her whole big performance. It was Avril Lavigne. I was like, is that Avril Lavigne? And he was like, I don't know. I'm trying to sleep.
Right? Kept trying to have a conversation with me. And I'm like, I need to nap.
Salt and Pepper were there too, and Ray and Chappell Roan inducted her dressed like, I don't know, she was trying to be Lady Gaga or something like that.
That's what I got. I got those kind of vibes. And I was like, there's only one Lady Gaga.
That's right.
Like, I'm sorry.
So speaking of Salt and Pepper, they went in for musical influence and actually brought up their lawsuit against Universal Music in their speech, which is super rock and roll. Like
Yeah.
it just very much is. Soundgarden was a big one for the night. Jim Carrey inducted them.
Yeah, I did hear about that actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and his speech was really big. Long live Chris Cornell. And he had this really cool, like, touching tribute to him. Talked about how he actually got to know the band and Chris and stuff like that. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Jack White I saw Jack White's too somehow, but I didn't see any performance along with that. Jack White accepted for the White Stripes. Meg was not there because she just doesn't go in public for whatever reason. But he paid tribute to her and read like this really nice poem that he wrote for her and all this stuff. And his speech was super cool. Outkast was awesome. And Andre 3000 actually referenced Jack's speech, which was really, really neat too.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Tons and tons more went down. You can see it on the Disney Plus and things like that. We're going to have to watch a bunch. It's so long though. So like mentally preparing to turn it on. It's like we're just going to have to watch it in chunks, but I do want to check out more of that because the performances also looked awesome. I've seen a couple of clips of those. I stumbled across this thing and I kind of dig this. It's a list. It's this website's called thetropicalfruit.com and they do these lists. That's 10 things that happened 10 years ago this week.
Okay, that should be pretty interesting. Wait, first you got to think about it. What was, 10 years ago? Okay, November of 2015. Then you sit there and you think about where were you at that time. Whew. All right, now go to the list.
Wow, so I've got the top 5 or the 5 most interesting of the 10. But 10 years ago, stubble was the sexiest type of facial hair.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
Which is funny because I had just shaved for like the first time in front of you for a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
And that was that. So thank God I had the stubble back. But yeah, poll for No Shave November found women like that better than clean shaven or full beard.
Right.
Don't know what the poll would be in 2025 though. Don't care.
I would assume that it's more of the full beard. You see a lot more of that right now.
I would assume it is too, and that's just wishful thinking on my part. So 10 years ago, Jason Aldean's blackface Halloween costume went viral. He had gone as Lil Wayne for Halloween. He later apologized and said he didn't mean to offend. And let's see, moving right along to another awkward celebrity situation. 10 years ago this week, Ellen was named the kindest celebrity in Hollywood.
Oh!
Who the hell do you think she paid for that?
Yeah, especially all the things that have come out recently.
NBC News polled people, and I think they must have just polled like...
Her viewers?
Yeah, it must have just been, regular street people. Street people? Civilians?
Want to keep trying?
No,
like,
civilians.
It's getting bad.
I'm going to stick with civilians. Yeah, Taylor Swift was second. Will Smith was third. So I guess Chris Rock didn't take that poll. 10 years ago this week, Victoria's Secret mosquito repellent. A study at New Mexico State found a Victoria's Secret perfume called Bombshell kept mosquitoes away better than some commercial bug sprays.
Interesting. I remember the spray Bombshell. Yeah.
I wonder if it does. Do you know if it smelled good? Have you ever?
No, I can't recall.
Because, why not have a good smelling mosquito repellent? How did that not catch on?
Right?
Maybe it was just that toxic or something like that. And the last one we have is the Butterball Hotline. 10 years ago, revealed the dumbest Thanksgiving questions they've ever gotten. I believe that was the first time they did it. Included how to cook a turkey so it has bikini tan lines. And someone asked if they could slow cook a turkey for 4 days to maximize the delicious smells. Wonderful.
These questions.
We got to find that list before Thanksgiving's up again because I love that stuff, the dumb cooking questions and all of that.
Yeah. Hey, I need to cook this turkey in 15 minutes. What do I do?
So that's a couple of things that happened 10 years ago this week. And 10 years from now, we'll be talking about this trend that's going on. And I don't know if I like this or not, so I didn't read into it too much because I figured we'd do that together and kind of discover what the hell's going on with showering in the dark.
Wait, what?
Apparently that's a new trend. There's a new trend every 5 minutes thanks to TikTok and all of that stuff. And
our short attention spans. We can't do anything.
They're calling it dark showering and they're calling it wellness trends. A wellness trend, right? So that's what...
So what's good about that? It kind of sounds unsettling.
A little bit, right? So I think it goes along the lines of like, remember, shower beer is a big thing. People swear by that, which I don't. How do you not get water in your beer if you're... Different question for a different time. But then there was the was it the orange in the shower? Something like eating an orange in the shower was one of these things for a while.
Interesting. I'm here for the shower beer. I still have not tried that and want to so bad because I've heard it's life-changing. And why not?
How do you not get the water, you know?
I don't know. I think you can be careful enough not to get water in your beer.
I drink my beer out of a glass.
Yeah, that's the problem there.
So anyway, showering.
Too fancy over here.
Showering in the dark. Normal shower, but you just turn the lights off so you can't see anything, I guess. I don't know if it started from modesty or what have you, but I guess it's supposed to be like the sensory deprivation thing. It's like, redneck yacht club, but it's sensory deprivation.
I mean, I would give it a try, but I'm not holding my breath on this one. It just seems so odd. And I'm not going to do it as like my morning shower because I'm not going to risk missing any spots, where it's like, oh, I thought I
mean, shouldn't you be able to, now you're going to make me defend it. Like, shouldn't you be able to feel that you've washed yourself all over the place?
Well, if you got your loofah and it's all soapy and all of that kind of stuff, as you're scrubbing everything, you'll get a spot where like the soap is gone off the loofah there.
I just, what if you slip and fall? Now it's the old people thoughts that's coming in to here. So various.
That says a lot more about you than I think you want it to.
It really does.
Oh, man, I'm afraid if I shower in the dark, I'm going to slip and fall.
At least I'm not worried about missing a spot.
Well, everyone knows where our priorities are.
Dr. Types, and I say that on purpose, Dr. Types claim that it's a sensory change that can improve your sleep. If you shower at night before bed, bright lighting tells your brain to wake up by raising the cortisol and all of that stuff, right?
Okay.
Then cutting off the lights can have the opposite effect. Low light or no light signals safety, activates parasympathetic nerve system, and begins the body's natural descent into rest and repair mode. Of course, you can do that without the shower part. Just sit in the dark for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or, lower amber light like the phones try to do for us and stuff like that. And you also need to avoid the blue light, of course. The phones, right? Definitely dangerous, though, if you want to try the trend, you should probably it literally says to transition from low light to darkness. So it's I'm doing my juice cleanse and working on my dark shower. I'm on the middle light setting tonight.
I got the dimmer switch on in there, slowly dropping it. Yeah, I can't take that seriously after all that. No, absolutely not.
Please don't try this. It seems very dangerous. And I mean, also, if you've got like a shower mirror in there and you accidentally say Bloody Mary so many times, then you're screwed in another way entirely and all of that. So we don't need that. No. We don't need that. Anyway, that's what we like to call the morning show of it all. How about that? All right. I'm sorry. I'm still with the showering in the dark.
Part of me still really does want to try it, like just to see what it's all about. But again, I don't think there's going to be much there.
So the sensory deprivation thing has always been intriguing to me, and only because of The Simpsons. I'm not going to lie, but it's always been intriguing. So kind of like that with the water, I could see maybe being neat,
relaxing,
I guess.
Different.
But why not just hop in the bath, get some bubbles going, and then flick the lights off? Get the clapper.
That sounds better.
And then Alexa, kill the lights while I'm in the tub.
I like that Alexa was your second choice and the clapper was your first.
Yeah, I don't, especially since you've pointed it out.
And you also made the mention about being afraid of slipping and falling.
Come on, man. We got to think about our safety here.
That's right.
Failing
and the clapper
to prepare is preparing to fail or something. I don't know. Let's get out of this.
It's best.
And oh my God, let's get into the review. Are you ready to go? It is time. Let's go. Naomi's Under a Rock review.
It's going to be a long one.
Of Enemy of the State.
That's right.
Love me some Will Smith in the 90s.
More serious movie after doing Major League last week. We did some horror movies in there too. So,
That's right,
that was a little bit more serious, but not.
Well, Nightmare on
not
Elm
like
Street 2
this.
was so bad, so it really wasn't. It was more of a comedy, honestly.
Right. So I feel like we've really switched gears with this one because this is a serious story here.
All right, so I'm absolutely excited to see what you think about this because, again, I was explaining it to you. That's kind of what sold you on wanting to check it out. So I'm hoping it lived up to the very little hype that I gave it.
You'll see.
I will.
All right, so the movie started. We got a congressman who is basically ambushed at the park to talk about a national security bill, a surveillance bill, and he's adamant that he's not going to vote for this. He's walking back to his car, and he's killed. Dun, dun, dun. You know, we already got drama, and it's been like
Right
not
off
even
the bat.
2.5
That's
minutes
right.
into this movie. Then we meet Will Smith, who's a lawyer, and he's trying to help these guys who happen to be like in a union. They want to vote as they see fit without outside influences. So he ends up meeting with his friend, Rachel, who I end up knowing that's who she is later.
Lisa Bonet.
She's got this connection that, you know, she's been very clear that she's not going to have Will meet this person, Robert, I should say, Will Smith. His character is Robert. She's not going to have Robert meet this guy, but this connection can get them whatever evidence they need. This time it happens to be a videotape showing some guy hanging with the union reps. And apparently, like, he's not supposed to be hanging out with them. It, like, violates his parole. But anyways, they've got this video of this. So Robert takes the tape to the guy who's in the video, who's not supposed to be, like, hanging with these union reps.
Yeah, the mob guy.
Yeah.
Which is a great mob guy.
Yeah. They watch it, and the guy's mad, and he's like, you know, who's your connection? How did you get this tape? All of that. Obviously, can't say. They threaten to kill him if he doesn't tell them within a week. So meanwhile, you know, the congressman that was murdered, they ended up putting him in his car and pushing it into the lake, but then his vehicle's found, so all these news reporters, police are around. It's a whole thing.
Here we go, yeah.
But here's where it gets really messy. So there was a camera set up, like a wildlife camera, but it was pointed at the boat launch where the congressman was murdered. So here comes up this park ranger, conservative worker, whatnot, to change out the film, and he doesn't know what he has on tape. So one of the officers that is there sees the worker taking the tape and reaches out to his higher-ups about it. You know, they've got to stop this tape from getting out.
Like, yeah, hey, there was a camera facing that angle and all wildlife
right, and
cam
somebody
and all that stuff.
and somebody's got it right now, and they again don't even know what they have. All right, so that conservative worker or whoever he was is watching the wildlife tape, and he sees the murder happen. So he calls his buddy who works at a paper and tells him about the video he has.
As you do.
Well, yeah.
I think that's like the first move, right? Is like, oh my God, I'm calling the, you know, some sort of news outlet.
Or I'm just telling somebody I know that, you know, would get this word out too.
I was thinking about this as we were watching it again I was watching it again, you for the first time, was like, yeah, if I ever accidentally stumble, I'm just like sending copies to like a whole bunch of different news outlets and like out of state too, you know?
Yeah. So while this is going on, now the government has tapped his phone lines. They're watching him because they know the information he has. Anyway, he tells his buddy that he has this. He starts making a copy of the tape, and now they're after him. I mean, not even 10 minutes later, they're coming for this guy. Yeah, they show up at his house. He runs. They chase him all over town. He's running in and out of buildings, and that's when he runs into Robert Dean, a.k.a. Will Smith. Robert asks him if he's okay, and he just says he needs help. Robert ends up handing him his business card, but he's, you know, distracted by the sales lady at the time, and the guy slips the video of the murder into Robert's bags. He runs off, ends up back on the street. He's being chased again. He ends up getting hit by a car. Well, not actually a car, a fire truck.
Creamed.
Yeah. And then the guys that were chasing after him just start checking all his pockets, and then they find Robert's business card. So now he gets to be a part of this whole mess.
That's right. My name is Earl, by the way. That was Jason Lee.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Daniel
that got
Zavitz.
squished. Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of realizing, like,
got squished.
yeah, this movie is a little funny. Like, it's not. It's serious, you know. But Robert gets home. His wife is yelling at the news because they're talking about the government spying on their citizens. But now, like, I don't know. Do we just not care anymore? Like, we give these companies the ability to spy on us all that they want.
The movie is so crazy because everything they're like worried about in the movie is absolutely how we live our lives right now. It's so funny.
And we don't even think twice about it.
Like, yeah, that happened in the last 25 years, by the way.
Right? With Facebook, the apps that we download, all of that, and all the things with the terms and conditions that we just don't read. I mean, like, they can do whatever they want and spy on us all they want, and we're just like, meh, it's fine. And this whole movie is like, oh my gosh, the government is watching what you're doing. And here we are just going, here you go, government. Use whatever you need for this stuff. I mean, I get it. It's a little bit more hardcore with phone tapping and the spying and all that. But come on, we know our phones have been listening to us.
Love you, the government.
Yeah.
Love you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. But I, feel like we've already kind of given up our privacy there.
A little bit.
Anyway.
A little bit.
So now the government is doing some digging on Robert because they found his card in the guy's pocket. They know that the other guy made a copy of the tape. Now they got to find out if Robert has it or what he knows about the incident, but they're pretty sure like he's got some information.
Yeah, they think he's working with, everybody against them, paranoid government agent. At one point where it's like, oh, he definitely, like when they're watching the security footage, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of you or not, but they're like watching the footage when he's with Zavitz, and the one guy, I think it's Jamie Kennedy actually, is just like, oh, he's definitely lying, or like they just made up their minds about him.
Well, yeah, right away. You need a bad guy there.
Yeah. So
we got these two detectives, as I'm going to call them. I don't even think that we should call them that, but that's what we're going to go with. They show up at Robert's house. He lets them in, and they start asking some questions. They start getting a little bit pushier about things, so Robert starts being a smartass and finally asks them to leave. It's actually probably one of my favorite interactions in the entire movie.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, because they start asking him questions about the lingerie he bought for his wife. And then he says something about, like, no, man, that's mine. I cross-dress on the weekends, in, like, just straight seriousness. Because, like, they were just being jerks.
It's excellent Will Smith sarcasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got all these companies. They're getting dirt on Robert and his family and everything. If he comes out with the tape, basically they're like, we want to ruin his credibility first, so no one will believe him if he comes out with the tape. But at this point, like, he doesn't even know what he has.
Right. That's such a freaky part of the whole thing.
Yeah. So they're going to tap his phones, dig into his history, everything. They break into his house while he's gone. They bug the place and just vandalize it, but try to make it look like kids vandalized it. Yeah, they spray paint the dog.
The dog. I love it.
So now it's working.
And they took his blender.
Yes. But now it's working, the losing the credibility side of thing. Some article gets published. His friend in the beginning of the movie, Rachel, who he had a connection with, she's being questioned about ties to the mob and her relationship with Robert. And, they had an affair together. So all of that is coming back around,
right,
And for Robert, his whole life is turning upside down. And honestly, at this point, it is scary. It's
Absolutely.
scary that somebody would have that power and that ability to do this stuff. And honestly, with Facebook and everybody recording videos and every interaction, like this happening, not because of the government, but because of your, as Luke put it earlier, your fellow street people.
That's right.
Other citizens recording all these interactions, like your life could be turned upside down so much faster, even for small misunderstandings, or like in this case where he doesn't know what he has. He doesn't know he has this video where somebody's getting murdered.
I think even before he knows what is going on. He's lost the job. They shut the credit cards down, right?
Yeah, everything, and now his wife is upset too because, there's a picture of him and Rachel together in the paper. And, she knows of Rachel. She's
like, we've been through this. I thought you were done and all that.
Yes. Because of all that, his wife ends up kicking him out. With that, when she saw the picture of the two of them in the paper. That's the point where Robert tries to go to a hotel, but none of his cards work. He calls Rachel.
Well,
they
steal
meet
his briefcase.
up. Yeah.
That's such a crazy, infuriating thing when he's at the hotel and they swipe his briefcase from him, and he's just like, then he just looks insane when his cards won't work and all that stuff.
At that point, I wouldn't even care. I don't care about the briefcase. I don't care. It's the least of my concerns right now. So anyway, he calls Rachel and they meet up where he explains that he needs to meet this Brill guy. That's the name of her connection.
Yeah.
So she sets up a meeting. So Robert ends up meeting this guy who he thinks is Brill, and I did too at the time. But it must have been one of the FBI guys or detectives or whatever. I gotta say it like that, so I don't mean like an
the NSA guys or whatever. Yeah.
So Robert tells this guy a little bit about what's going on, account's not working, all that. He's asking questions about the guy that got killed by the fire truck, like if he had given him anything, a phone number, obviously the tape, anything like that. They're driving around in a taxi and they end up getting into an accident where the guy who was pretending to be Brill ends up pulling out a gun and tells Robert not to leave. So, of course, he takes off running.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't listen to anybody in this movie.
Yeah. Well, especially at that point, something fishy is going on, and oh my gosh, this isn't the guy that you thought it was.
That's right.
So they got into an accident because another vehicle was chasing them. Robert ends up making eye contact with the person that was in the other vehicle while he's running off. So he makes his way to a hotel, and there's the other guy, the guy he made eye contact with.
Gene Hackman.
He pulls him into an elevator and starts debugging him and asking questions. Now at this point, you're like, oh, this is the real Brill. He watched all of this happen. He followed him, and he's getting some information here. They end up on the rooftop. Scene. Brill is telling him, it's the NSA that's tracking him, that they bugged him, and he must have something they want. And at this point, Robert is screaming. I mean, you see the spit come out. I don't have anything. Right? You see the actual frustration of my life is turned upside down for no reason right now.
The goddamn robots, John.
Right.
Oh, wrong movie. Sorry.
Will Smith does that so well. Just being so freaking angry because nobody believes what he's saying.
I love Will Smith.
That's the best character for him there. And again, Robert's still confused about everything, doesn't think he has anything, has no idea why they're after him, but at least now he knows who's doing it. And it's not the mob like he had thought before, the union guys or anything like that. It's his own government.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Then things get really, really hectic. I mean, we've got these detective guys trying to find him. Robert has stripped off his clothes because there was a bug in his pants. I couldn't wait to write that line.
Nice.
But yeah, so now he's running around the hotel in his boxers. He ends up starting a fire so the sprinklers would go off, and the fire department would come and everything. It's so crazy and intense.
A lot of foot chase scenes.
Yes.
In this movie.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. And that's a really, really good one.
It's a fantastic one because, he's jumping from ledge to ledge on the outside of the building. He ends up back inside the building, locked in a supply closet, trying to figure out how the hell is he going to get out here. There's one way out, and it's the door where these detectives are standing outside of, Is that
also the scene where you discovered another one of my lines that I've said for years and years and years?
That was right before the fire.
Yeah, so again, it's Scott Conn. I believe it's Scott Conn. He's with Jake Busey, and they're trying to get into the hotel room door, and he can't get the thing to work. And he looks at, I believe it's Scott Conn. He looks up and he's like, I can't do it. I got rabies or something. And anytime I fumble with keys or with a door or something like that, I have said that line, and for 10 years, And so it was another moment where Naomi paused the movie and just stares at me with contempt for about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Still feeling that way, too. I just thought it was something you made up.
Oh, no, I'm not original at all. Have you not noticed?
Well, I'm starting to really learn that because all these quotes keep showing up everywhere.
Well, I'm glad we got 11 years in before you figured it out.
That was really surprising because I was not expecting it, and I didn't expect anything from like a movie like this. You know, this is a serious movie. This is intense, all of that. I did not expect one of your catchphrases, for lack of a better word, was going to show up here.
I don't know if I would put that to the level of catchphrase, but yes, for lack of a better term, you know, for sure. Because I have said that for a long time. Again, fumbling with the door or keys or just some nonsense and things like that. And if you've listened long enough, you know those little lines creep up every now and then in an Under a Rock review. So I had to point that one out too.
Yeah. So because of the fire, we've got Robert able to escape because, you know, the smoke inhalation and all of that. So firefighters come get him and he's taken out in an ambulance. But he knows they're going to be following the ambulance. They're going to follow him to the hospital. So he ends up grabbing one of the police officers' guns, who was in the ambulance with him, makes them pull over, and he starts running. So now they're chasing him through a tunnel. We got another chase scene here.
Yeah.
They're using the help of like tunnel surveillance to find out exactly where he's heading and like which ways are the quickest ways to access those locations. At this point, I'm just kind of curious how he's ever going to get out of this. Like, how is he ever going to escape? I know he will. He is the main character of this movie. He has to. But honestly, it's starting to feel kind of hopeless. You know, no matter what he does, they're watching him and they know where he is.
They do a good job, too, with like showing you, like flashing to where they're looking at the satellites and then there's the helicopters all over the place and they're talking to each other and it's like, oh, he went out the back and, you know, keep following and all that stuff. It's just, they do a great job of making it feel hopeless.
There's nowhere to hide. So he ends up getting away, though. Makes his way back to his house, but he stays in the garage. His wife ends up going out there because the dog is barking and he tells her what's going on. She's wearing the lingerie that he had bought for her the day that he ran into the guy who was in trouble.
Love that.
That day, you know, that the tape had been slipped to him, but he never found anything. He's telling her, you're as bad as Eric, you know, his kid. And that's when he realizes, as soon as he says it, Eric probably snooped through the bags that he had brought home and took the tape, thinking it was like a present for him or a game or something. And that's exactly what happened. So he ends up riding in the back of the nanny's vehicle, like sneaks into the back of the vehicle. They have the nanny grab the vehicle and go pick up the kids, stop them while they're walking to school, and get the tape back from them.
Yeah, at that point you figure out it's like, what is it, like some sort of game system or something like that, and the kids were trying to play and they're like, it was broken when we got it and all that stuff. And I just want to point out that when he says, you know, to his wife, she's as bad as the kid, and then how the kid doesn't listen and all that stuff, every single time he's with Gene Hackman and Gene tells him to do something, he does not do it. So his whole damn family is just like stubborn as hell.
Well, where do you think they got it from?
I'm just realizing like all that. I wonder if that's on purpose or not, because like each member of his family is just stubborn as hell. Like he's trying to get the kid to face forward in the scene in the car, and the kid keeps turning around and stuff. Too.
Well, that's normal reaction anyway.
It is, but like his whole family is just hilarious.
So anyways, the kids got it, the tape, and thinks it's a game or whatever. They think it's a game and it's broken. But Robert knows what it is and knows it's what the NSA has been looking for. So he makes a plan to meet up with Brill. In the meantime, he stops by Rachel's apartment, but she's dead. And they're making it look like he killed her. His cufflinks were there, clothes. They had a letter that he forged. At this point, like, he's way in over his head. So he ends up meeting up with Brill again, tells him about the tape and Rachel being dead. He decides to help, but first has to stop for some food. He tells Robert, no calls, just like you said.
Yep.
So Robert uses a payphone, thinking it's better than a cell phone, but the phone still gets traced. They end up finding him and Brill by watching the surveillance videos from the gas station they stopped at, and then the satellites to see which way they drove off.
And just followed him
after
home.
that. Yeah, seeing exactly which way they went, which happened to be like Brill's workspace. He's got it all set up so it can't be bugged or anything like that, but they, you know, they at least know where he's at this point. That's when he mentions he used to work for the NSA. That's why he knows all this information. They end up watching the tape. They see the congressman get murdered and know it was another politician who did it. And at this point, the detectives are on to them. They've showed up at the workspace. Robert and Brill run off and set off a bomb there, basically to erase all the evidence, get rid of everything, anything that was a part of that building. At this point, the tape was in Robert's jacket, and, we've got another chase scene. We've got them in the vehicles, and then gas line breaks or whatever in the vehicle, so there's fire and all that. So that tape that was in Robert's pocket actually got burned. So now they have nothing.
Whoops.
And the NSA is still chasing them. Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to end up dead here,
What do you do?
Well, they decide to make their way to an underpass and steal a car. Second good idea there.
Genius.
Yeah. That's how they get away. Brill advises Robert to run away, leave his family behind, basically go underground to protect him, but he won't. He said he worked hard for his life. He's not leaving his family. He wants to fight this. So they talk about, using their weaknesses as strengths and using what they know to fight back. And this is the climax of the movie. This is where they make a plan and,
It is very A-Team. If you're old school A-Team fan, it's the A-Team moment where, they put their plan together and, bum, as they're like getting all the stuff and the guerrilla combat and whatnot. It's great.
It's great.
Great part of the movie.
So they end up bugging a congressman's hotel room where they find him cheating on his wife. They have it on tape. And they made it semi-obvious that they bugged the room as well, so the congressman would know that he had been spied on. Then they set up a bug at the Congressman Reynolds' house. So Congressman Reynolds is the one who killed the other congressman.
John Voight.
Yeah.
The bad guy.
He is the main bad guy here. And they make it, at least I assume it's them, they end up making 2 large $70,000 deposits into his wife's bank account. Probably to help him lose some credibility.
A little bit,
doesn't
right?
this sound familiar?
Yeah, use their tactics against him.
Yeah, so they end up meeting with him and recording him to try to get a confession, but it ends up taking a little too long. His goons are there, the detectives. They start searching the perimeter for Robert. They find him, bring him in, along with Brill. But at this point, it seems almost like they wanted to be caught. Like they had a plan here.
A little bit,
Maybe
right?
not, but it seems like it.
Or they develop one quickly.
Right. Either way, something's going to go down here. So the congressman's credit cards aren't working. The wife calls. She's all panicked. Robert is quick to mention how much of a pain that can be because obviously the same thing just happened to him. So Robert lies and says that the tape that they're looking for, the tape of the murder and all that, is in this restaurant. It happens to be the same restaurant from the beginning of the movie where the mob guy was asking Robert where he got the tape of that union meeting. Now, I didn't mention this because I didn't realize this was going to be a key part of this, but the FBI had been watching this restaurant already.
And you just thought it was a throwaway mention, right?
Yeah. So, Robert ends up saying, "Hey, no, it's the tape, all of that. It's in that building. It's in the restaurant one." So Robert and the congressman go inside, and so the mob guy is there. And when they're mentioning the tape, the mob guy thinks he's talking about one tape, the video that has the incriminating evidence on
him with the other witness he's not supposed to be with or whatever.
Yeah. And, this congressman is talking about a different tape. So they start screaming at each other. It's starting to get heated, fighting. Then an actual gunfight breaks out. Yeesh. Robert hides under the table and escapes death. And that's it. The guns go off. The FBI kind of rushes into everything. It all wraps up. The main bill that this whole movie was about, the surveillance and all that, ends up getting dropped. And then we see Robert relaxing at home. He's kind of flipping through the channels on TV, and then all of a sudden he changes the channel, and it's him. It's a camera watching him. Then it turns to a beach scene, and we know it's Brill. And he's living it up on some tropical island somewhere, Go Brill.
Go Brill.
The end.
That's right. Go Gene Hackman. Love it. The cast in that movie is just insane. It's like young Hollywood, like I was saying. I mean, you got Gene Hackman and Jon Voight and Will Smith, of course, Lisa Bonet. You had Barry Pepper, Regina King as the wife, as Carla, of course, Jake Busey, that's Gary Busey's kid.
Yeah.
You can see the resemblance.
Yes.
If you didn't know that one, Scott Conn, of course, Jamie Kennedy, Jack Black. Crazy cast. And as usual, we like to start off by asking you, did you like it?
I did. I liked it a lot.
Pretty good. So, like, did it live up to the explanation? Because you were not really hyped going in, but, you were ready to go. You had some excitement.
I love it because your explanation of it was honestly like 2 sentences.
Good.
But it was enough that I was intrigued.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away because of the whole under the rock thing, all of that stuff. So, the chase scenes, a lot of foot chases. Was there a car chase scene or two, whatever?
Yeah.
So we know historically you're not a big chase person. Were these okay?
These ones were honestly okay.
Your thoughts on these?
There was a few that it started getting a little long, but it was nothing like Terminator 2, where some of those scenes I was like, you could have stopped chasing each other 10 minutes ago. So there was a few moments of that, but it really wasn't bad. It didn't take away from the movie for me.
All right. Did you have a favorite line? That's a new question I'm going to add in every now and then because, sometimes there's some good lines in there. I like when Will Smith is like, why'd you blow up the building? He's like, because you made a phone call.
That's a fantastic line. I would probably say when he's being, interviewed by the 2 detectives in his house, his smart ass line about cross-dressing on the weekends, again, because it's just the delivery, just so straightforward as if that's really what he's doing on the weekends and it's none of your business.
That's exactly right. I love it. All right. What did you know about it going in?
The 2 sentences you told me about and I'm trying to remember exactly what you said to me. You just said something about I don't even think you told me that much about it. Just a guy who has to deal with the government spying on him. Like, I feel like that was mostly what I got from you.
That's funny because my recollection is that I gave you way too much. So, okay, well, I'll take that. That's absolutely fine.
No, I had no idea what was going on.
So, what were your thoughts going in? Have you seen Eagle Eye? Do you remember Eagle Eye with
no,
with Shia LaBeouf? Okay, like they kind of almost redid this in a different angle, but anyway, that's fine. Your thoughts going in for this one?
So I knew it was going to be more of a serious movie, a serious story and all that. So I was definitely, ready to be like focused and all that. But within the first 5 minutes, again, the congressman getting murdered and all of that, I was hooked right away.
All right, wonderful. What surprised you? Maybe that you liked the chase scenes.
That they weren't as bad as most chase scenes. Yeah.
All right. So maybe, we could stick with movies that are foot chases. Does that
right, instead of all the car chases and all of that. I don't know. I think it just depends on
the length and the context.
Yes, and whether it makes sense or if it feels like it's just filling time. I didn't feel like it was just filling time here. Like, he legit had to run out of these situations.
Well put. I like that. That's a great answer. Great answer. Would you like it more or less if you saw it when you were younger?
Probably less. I wouldn't be involved in the story as much.
Yeah, a little less freaky in history as well, possibly.
That's true.
Favorite part?
I think when their plan kind of comes together, when they're sitting there in the restaurant.
I love that. I made the A-Team reference, and that's the phrase you chose. You love that their plan came together. That's you know that, right?
No.
Oh, wow. We're going to have to watch all of the A-Team on the next Under a Rock review. Naomi watches 4 seasons of the A-Team.
Why, is it something specific
I love it when
about
a plan comes together?
Somebody says that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I wish I would have done that on purpose.
Maybe we watch the remake movie. That's okay. Anyway.
But
sorry.
Anyway, when they're sitting at the restaurant and, Brill is talking about guerrilla warfare and things like that, and talking about using your weaknesses as your strength and all of that. When they just start talking, and you can just feel it. You can feel that idea, like
a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and the wheels are turning
The
and
plan
all of
forming
that.
and all of that. It is a
Yeah.
great scene. That's an excellent choice. What is your least favorite part?
Least favorite part. Well, this is gonna sound awful, but I think the wife just yelled way too much. like when she was angry, like she couldn't just hold it back a little bit. And maybe because when I get angry and all of that, and I do the same thing and tear apart things and won't let it go and all of that. So maybe there's a reason, a connection
See yourself in there a little bit. That's
yeah,
why.
maybe. But there were like when she's screaming at him to get out of the house and all of this stuff. Like I
do believe Hocus Pocus is episode 25.
I'm like, we get it, okay? You guys are done. Just go away. Stop yelling. We're done.
Very loud. Now that you say that, okay.
Yeah, it's between that and then when she's yelling at the TV. Maybe it's that. Because there's nothing that gets under my skin faster than people yelling at the frickin' TV. They can't hear you. I don't care how good it makes you feel. She's yelling at the news. That's even worse.
That is worse, right? Yelling at the news, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to your parents. And I mean, shout out to everybody's parents. Like, let's be honest about that.
Yes. And I bet you that's where it is. It's not even the yelling at the husband or anything like that. It was her yelling at the TV, specifically the news. And I'm like, I just can't take this lady seriously anymore.
Regina King. All right. Would you recommend it to someone who hasn't seen it?
Yes.
Watch it again?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Stop if it's on TV.
Possibly.
It's not really a thing anymore, but we still ask the question. That's okay. Are you happy you watched it?
Yes.
Does it hold up? It's 1998. Technology's changed a hell of a lot. Does it hold up?
I mean, it's still scary to think that the government's spying on you and then chasing you because, if you had a tape or some kind of evidence that you didn't even know you had and how easily it would be to find you and remove the threat that you are. So yeah, it holds up on that spot, but the idea of, being chased and watched and seeming so scary, it's more like, nah, you can find anybody real quick now.
Yeah.
Like that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. We need a lot more overpasses.
There you
nowadays,
go.
I think.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Excellent review of taking us through Enemy of the State. A little bit of a hidden gem from the late 90s, 1998. Will Smith, Gene Hackman. Again, that cast is absolutely stacked. It's one of those that like I've kind of broken out every now and then. It's like, Enemy of the State. All right, and watch that a little bit. So I'm glad you've gotten that because it basically just adds to our stop and watch if it's on TV.
Yeah.
Probably on FX or something list. So there you go. Excellent. Well done.
All right, it's time for Thought of the Day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
You really jumped into that. You want to get that over with, didn't you?
Yeah, really.
This is a serious question.
Very much.
Okay?
Yeah.
Very serious.
Oh, here we go.
If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty?
That's so stupid. Maybe it's the pessimist in me, but I'm saying the soap's dirty.
I think it is the pessimist in you because I'm saying the floor is clean.
But it's not the whole floor, it's just that little spot.
Just spot? That's fine.
So you think you're going to pick that soap up and, touch it to yourself? I thought about how to say that way too fast. I didn't think well enough about how to say that.
Or the sentence following that
either. Just,
You want to keep going? Just keep digging this hole right here?
The title of this episode is The Stroke Episode.
Luke, are you going to leave us with a laugh? Can you?
I don't think I can top that. Honestly, I don't know.
How's your face feeling? Any numbness?
All good. Oh my God. Are you ready for these?
No, but okay.
This is the last 3 of the joke cards, by the way.
No.
It's onto a new source of jokes after this episode. What does a house wear?
A dress.
A dress, that's correct.
That's terrible.
That's correct. Told my wife she drew her eyebrows on too high. She seemed surprised. Those are old too, right?
Yep.
Let's see if this one old. Yesterday, a clown held the door open for me. I thought to myself, that was a nice gesture.
I'm not even going to give you a smile for that one.
That one I like. I like that one. What's wrong with that one?
It was terrible.
That's a good one.
Whatever.
So to answer your question, yes, I'm going to leave you with a laugh. How about that?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what we're calling it these days.
All right. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page, Luke and Naomi On Air, and follow along. Jump in on some of our goofy, random questions that we like to ask Mondays. Your love-hate list from the weekend is back, by the way. Drop those. We like to hear about your weekend. We had the awesome weekend with the Jeff K 10K. Be looking for that video. That should be coming up very soon. And did we get the newest Sips and Snacks up? I can't remember if we got
the Turkey Changa.
Yeah, 2025 Turkey Changa.
It is.
With a brand new pairing for Thanksgiving dinner. Or if you're in Wilmington, Turkey Changa.
Yes.
Excellent beer and wine pairings this year. Check that out on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's not up on Facebook yet. I don't think I posted that yet. But it is up on lukeandnaomi.com. And like Luke said, on our YouTube channel.
That's right. YouTube channel. Subscribe so you get notifications when all of that stuff goes on up there. And Naomi just mentioned lukeandnaomi.com. Don't forget to check that out because everything you need to know is there as well.
That's right.
All right. Until next episode, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.